We have your first look at the Bachelorette's Men Tell All special. Hey everyone, welcome back to another shared news from home. We have a sneak peek from the Men Tell All, which is super exciting. But before we get into it, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any Bachelor updates. As always, I'm your host, Morgan Wright, joined today by the wonderful Fiona Zaring. Fiona, can you believe it's already time for the Men Tell All?
No, I mean, honestly, I feel like we have blinked and this season is already at the end. It has been an absolute roller coaster, but I'm kind of excited for it. I feel like we're getting to what's going to be the really exciting part of Katie's season.
Yeah, I agree. And we actually got some sneak peek pictures. You know, they say a picture says a thousand words, and we're getting all kinds of messages from the photos popping up from the Men Tell All. We're seeing lots of pictures of Katie, Tayshia, and Kaitlyn floating around. So let's start with the leading lady herself, Katie Thurston, smiling ear to ear. Fiona, she looks really happy. And, my initial reaction to seeing her smile this big is she has a happy ending. I mean, what do you think looking at this photo?
Yeah, I mean, she looks like she is on cloud nine. First of all, she looks gorgeous. I think her hair, her makeup, the dress is all doing her lots of favors. And I feel like you're right. A picture does say a thousand words. And there's a difference between smiling for a photo and genuinely looking overjoyed. And I feel like Katie is the latter. She looks so happy here. I have been rooting and hoping for a happy ending since day one, and they really did give her a lot of great guys. So we just have a few more weeks to go. I think hopefully we're going to get good news at the end of it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And I do want to talk about the dress because Katie's fashion has been not a storyline on the show, but it's been all over Twitter and Instagram and TikTok. People are constantly talking about the outfits that Katie is choosing to wear, whether it's the green t shirt and skinny jeans she wore on Greg's date, whether it's the side part. I mean, people have been, for lack of better words, roasting her online for her fashion choices. I think this dress looks amazing on her. I wanna know your favorite parts of the look, and then I'll give mine too.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I have to say, I didn't love the green t shirt and skinny jeans moment, right? I just think that that didn't do her any favors. But with a couple of literally such simple tweaks, I would have been wearing that outfit. And that's the thing that I do love about Katie's fashion is that she's clearly staying true to herself. If she felt like going on a date wearing a loose tee and a pair of her favorite jeans in real life, clearly she would do it. And she's brought that with her to the show. So whether or not I think some of her outfits have been, the most fashion forward or super trendy, or sometimes, they're not the most flattering, who cares? At least she's staying true to herself, right? At the end of the day, that's important. With all that being said, this is one of her best looks, I think, in my opinion. It's a fun, bright color, which is totally on trend. I have no issues with her side part, never have. But I think that this is an example of that side part really working for her. Her hair is super voluminous, looks very natural still. Maybe she just, I don't know, went to the beach. It's all windblown. She looks good, and she hasn't, I guess for lack of a better way of putting it, she hasn't listened to all of the critics being like, ooh, we don't like your side part, changed herself, come back, and then look good, right? Even at Men Tell All, she's sticking to her guns and being true to herself, which is why we love her.
Yeah, and I mean, I think this look is so great. The green is a hard color to pull off. Not everybody can pull off this bright lime green, and I think Katie looks great. I do think that some of her best moments have been at her rose ceremonies, her dresses. I think a lot of those were really nice. The pink one when she sent Andrews home. I mean, I know that that's got a bad memory attached to it, but I thought she looked beautiful. The red latex dress I thought was just a moment. And I also love this one. I think it's one of her top 3 looks. So, Katie, if you're watching, girl, don't change a thing. You look stunning. The only other photos that we're seeing right now are of the other hosts, Tayshia and Kaitlyn, coordinated in pink. And I mean, they just look stunning as well. Fiona, I want to get into your thoughts of them hosting, because here's where I always kind of didn't really know what was going to happen. Whenever it was announced that Chris Harrison wasn't going to be coming back, I thought, sure, Tayshia and Kaitlyn can host the Bachelorette, right? They can be there on the group dates. They can come in and say, Katie, now it's time for your final rose. I wasn't convinced that the two of them would be the best choice for a men tell all, to sit down and have really hard conversations. Maybe just because we've never seen them do that before. So, what are your thoughts on them hosting? Do you think they're going to be able to ask the tough questions, get to the root of the issue? And I don't know, to me, they kind of seem too nice. Like, we're not going to get any really juicy moments, but maybe that's just me being pessimistic. What do you think?
No, I actually am really with you. So this has been something I've been thinking about, same as you, like from the get-go of them being announced, because what I love about the two of them hosting is the fact that they brought more of a mentorship energy to the role, right? Like Chris Harrison, he came in, he hosted, he wore a suit and tie, he was sort of formal about the whole thing, and he did a great job, right? For season after season after season. But I was really excited to be like, okay, this is a very lighthearted show. I don't know that we need very formal, serious hosting energy. It could be really great to swap that for some, girlfriend energy, right? For sitting down and instead of talking to a Chris Harrison who maybe you don't really relate to, right? You're talking to your girlfriends. I think it was going to be really authentic. And I do think we've seen that from them and Katie throughout the show. That being said, the way they've structured Men Tell All, and for that matter, after the final rose, does need someone like a Chris Harrison, in my opinion, to juggle all of the different energy. I mean, think back to even the least dramatic version of Men Tell All. People are going to be screaming at each other. That just always happens. So I don't know. I do think a more formally trained host at least would maybe be able to navigate it a little better, but I want to believe that the franchise has prepared them, that production has sat down with them and kind of given them the ropes, that maybe they did some sort of rehearsals where they got a bunch of PAs, screaming over each other and had them, figure out that rhythm of when to interrupt and how to lead the conversation where it needs to go. So at the end of the day, I mean, in these photos, they look happy, they look confident. Like, I believe in these women. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. But this is always, I think, where it's going to come down to, okay, was this an effortless transition to go from host to former bachelorettes? Or is there an argument to be made that maybe you need someone more like a Chris Harrison in this role going forward? For some reason, it feels like it's all going to come down to this Men Tell All moment.
Yeah, I agree with you because you do have to have some interview skills, right? And it's probably something that they've never had to do before because, anytime that you're hosting something, you want to get to like the heart of the issue. You have to know what questions to ask, when to kind of back off, when to keep pushing. And that's something that takes a lot of practice, even for journalists like us who have studied it before. It doesn't really come very easily to know, okay, they gave me kind of a general answer. I'm going to need to push a little harder here. Or, okay, maybe I'm overstepping my boundaries with this question. So it will be interesting to see. I mean, obviously, the both of them have experience in their podcasts, so I'm hoping that maybe having that experience under their belt will help them, like I said, get to the heart of the issues, ask the questions that we all really want to know. And I will say, in looking at the picture of the three of them together, there's been a lot of comparisons this season when it comes to styling, about Tayshia and Kaitlyn maybe looking, I don't want to say better, but like more stylish than Katie. But I don't think that's the case here at the Men Tell All. I think the three of them all look really great. Obviously, the hosts are color coordinating, but I don't feel like Kaitlyn or Tayshia is outshining Katie in the fashionista portion of the Men Tell All. What do you think?
I love that you say that because I feel like I know that there are people out there, right, that are just like more critical by nature, for sure. So I don't know. Maybe people on Twitter are having a field day over this, right? But to me, I look at this and I think Kaitlyn looks like herself, Tayshia looks like herself, and Katie looks like herself. Even though
Mm.
Kaitlyn and Tayshia are color coordinating, those dresses are totally different vibes, right? Kaitlyn's is shimmery, it's a little more girly, Tayshia's is shorter. I mean, they are sticking true to what their style is. And I feel like while I can understand all of the comments about like maybe Katie's fashion isn't, I think we're coming off of Tayshia, right? Not only is Tayshia an amazing bachelorette, but let's face it, she's like a fashion icon within Bachelor Nation. Every week she served up looks that I think people like screenshotted and then like were like, okay, I need to take notes. So to me, I feel like maybe that's why it's been so hard for people to just be like, okay, we're here for Katie's love journey, not her
Yeah.
like walking the runway. So I agree. I think they all look great. I love these looks on all of them. I don't think anyone is screaming like, okay, she's on the cover of Vogue, the rest of them look bad. I think finally, I hope everyone is just gonna like each woman for what they're wearing, and that can be it.
I agree with you 100%, Fiona. Now, I want you to look in the background of this photo, and there are a few other shots because we see a studio audience, a live studio audience. This may be the first live audience since the pandemic, which is nice to see. We'll get shots of the audience, we'll get reactions from the audience members. I mean, honestly, one of my favorite parts is always like the look of shot. Like, I have flashbacks to Peter season when Barb was just going ham on Madison and everyone in the audience was like that was one of my favorite parts. So do you think a live audience helps in this type of environment, or do you think in the men's hall it doesn't make much of a difference?
So here's the thing. I think a live studio audience is actually going to really play to Tayshia and Kaitlyn's benefit because there's not going to be overwhelming like silence in the air, right? If one of the guys says something that, you know, is a great point, right? That the audience, that Bachelor Nation really relates to, there's going to be cheers, there's going to be clapping, there's going to be a natural sort of reaction to it that doesn't fall only on Kaitlyn and Tayshia to navigate. So I love a studio audience myself. I think they bring a fun energy, but I'm honestly really excited to see that they're going to be there because I want Kaitlyn and Tayshia to succeed. And I think those silences would have been the trickiest thing to navigate for them because I don't like silence, right? So it's like you don't know when someone's going to stop talking, you don't know when you should interrupt. Like they're going to have an audience there interrupting for them, which I think is great. I'm really glad we were able to have this happen.
And before we wrap this up, let's get some final thoughts. Who do you think is going to be in the hot seat for the Men Tell All? Do you think there's going to be any Bachelor auditions on this portion, or do you think that's more going to be safe for after the final rose?
Oh my goodness. Listen, I think that anytime these guys, there for the right reasons or otherwise, have a chance at a Men Tell All to say their piece, to get Bachelor Nation on their side, they're gonna do it. So I do think we'll see some Bachelor auditions. Not exactly sure from who. I mean, listen, Andrew S. already gave a pretty great Bachelor audition, so maybe we'll just see more of that. As far as the hot seat goes, I think we're definitely going to be seeing Hunter in it, but I'm really curious to see what he says, right? Because we saw Katie tweeting out in support of him during the episode where his story kind of took a turn. We've seen him speak out on his social media about the fact that there is more to his story. So I'm really curious if he's going to get more of a redemption hot seat, if that makes sense. One guy that I hope is in the hot seat, and I hope the guys take to town once again, though, is Thomas. I mean, let's face it. Thomas sort of sucks. He did get a rough like deal of it at the end there, but I still don't really feel like I've heard anything from him that excuses, in my opinion, the dumb choice to say what he said, right? You can go on this show thinking you might find love and knowing you're going to get a platform, but you just don't say that. Nobody says that. That was such a poor thing for him to have done. So I don't know. I hope that Thomas goes in the hot seat, and I'm curious to see if there's anything he can say that'll make me ease up on him, but I don't think so.
I mean, this whole time, Thomas has wanted his Bachelor audition. And although Katie said very dramatically, your Bachelor audition ends tonight, here's the men tell all where it might happen all over again. And also set him up for Bachelor in Paradise. I mean, there is a chance that he's going to end up on the beach. So you never know. But we do know that we're super excited for the men tell all. Hopefully, Katie's season has a happy ending. I'm feeling optimistic. Just the way she's looking in these photos, I feel like she's happy. So that's all we have, you guys, for now. Let us know. Are you excited for the men tell all? Are you excited to see Hunter, Thomas, Carl, Kaitlyn and Tayshia? Any comments you have, make sure you write them in and subscribe to our channel. Ring the bell so you don't miss out on any Bachelor Nation updates. And come say hello to Fiona and I on our social media pages. Our handles are on the screen right now. Thank you guys again for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.